but for some reason they perpetuate this myth that comets are dirty snowballs. The one last point is that we are now aware of a very large object that is coming into the solar system, and there seems to be a historical recurrence of this object. Some people call it Nibiru, Planet X. My personal study deals with what I call extrasolar system objects. Some are big, some are small, but there's no question that there are hundreds, possibly thousands of these objects which come into our solar system periodically and then go out in a long orbit. Some may have a 100,000-year orbit. We saw one last February 2003, which we now call Comet NEAT B1, which had a 33,000-year orbit, a very large object that came very near the sun, was tremendously large and affected the sun. This is the other thing, is that comets have the ability to affect the energy output of the sun. When that happens, we then get severe weather on Earth. So there's many aspects to the effects that these large comets can have on the solar system and on planet Earth. But the bottom line is, comets are not dirty snowballs. They are a very energetic plasma interaction of an asteroidal rocky body with the solar electric field. Very complex topic, and for some reason one that, like I say, is very much now accepted in the upper tiers of science, what I call the secret science in the United States and with scientists around the world. I should mention also that as early as the mid-1990s, my work had been translated into Russian and is being taught as the top-level science in Russia today regarding comets, the electrical nature of the solar system, yet it is hardly even known about in the Western Hemisphere. So now what I want to show you are the comets coming in from the south, and if you've seen my homepage, I've got dozens and dozens of these. I've picked a couple just to show you, and look down in this region where I've got the mouse arrow coming up. There it comes, you see it? Boom! The sun explodes. Now, according to NASA, that's a half-a-mile wide little ice ball. Do you think that that's causing the sun to explode the way it does, and it's a little ice ball? Well, according to those people, that explosion is just coincidence. How many of these do you have to see until you realize that it's not coincidence? Comets are electrically... This is the flare. Whoops, I'm sorry, whoops. I jumped ahead just a little bit here. There's a kind of a thing on the side of this mouse I keep hitting. Let's go back to this. Okay, right here, the first comet coming in misses that flare. The second comet comes in and directly hits it, and this is the result. NASA says coincidence. That big flare, the biggest flare we've ever seen in the solar system. We know from historical records that there at least was one big object that came by Earth a long time ago. I'll just, instead of using years or thousands of years, because the Earth shows us that it has very tremendous changes that have gone on very rapidly, and modern science is striving desperately to use standard processes to explain this.
Hello YouTube, it's Comet ISON Disclosure here. I wanted to show you this alleged first video of Comet 2012 ISON. So I'm getting this off spaceweather.com. That's supposed to be it right there, almost below the center. And as you can see, it looks like it has two companions with it. Now this is the first video right here that's been on the internet that has been taken of this comet. Now Professor James McCanney posted this over on his website, and I want to read it here. Hope he doesn't mind. January 20th, 2013 posting. This just in. It's too early to confirm, but some initial data suggests that Comet C 2012 S1 ISON has at least one companion and possibly up to 7. When something like this happens, one has to be very cautious, but after examining the data that I've seen, I would say that it appears to be real.
But
what would you say for him that he can't say then?
I think the comet is the big threat, and they don't want anything said about that. They want to keep a lid on it because of the chaos it will develop, because people will realize that they're wasting their time in their endeavors, and that they should be preparing. My belief is you should be preparing spiritually now. We're at the end of a long course here. Earth is completely off track, and as I've told you in my emails, the cosmos is organic, and an immune response is coming.
Hey folks, welcome to Code Searcher. Listen, somebody sent me a video of Paul Bagley. He did something on ISON here recently, the comet. They reminded me that even though I covered ISON over at Livestream, it's been months now, I needed to do it over in YouTube. What I have here is wormwood. And what I want to show you is a connection to ISON and Revelation 8:8. I'm going to do a series of 3 videos cross-confirming each access term. One access term will be wormwood. One access term will be Comet 2012 S1, which is ISON. And the third will be Michael Drosnin's comet table from his book. And I've been looking for this comet he's talked about for years. For those that you know me, know I've been doing this, and only recently, when ISON was identified, have I been able to make a connection to Michael Drosnin's Doomsday Comet table. And I will show you his expanded version of that table. And it's not good, folks. It spells out complete disaster. But here in this table, what I wanted to show you, again, we have the access term wormwood. Sorry about that. Here in the blue, we have the famine. The famine is there. Also, at the top, we have harbinger, and it's there twice. It's there at a skip of, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Skip of 12. So there's 12 letters between letters. And then a skip of 1, which is in the plain text. Right here in the blue is the comet. And here we have Revelation crossing over the access term. Now here in the red, or the pink, is the word for calamity, or bitterness, or poison. Runs this way. And this is interesting. The Lord woke me up. I was thinking about words to run in this table, and I remembered someone asking me to look for the rapture. And here it is. Rapture's there in the green. Down here in the bottom of the blue, the brown, is the word for, or the words for, blood water. Blood water. Here in the plain text, I've highlighted just a few verses, just some things that I've seen I thought might have been significant. I haven't translated all of the text and looked at everything so far, but I will revise this when I do. Here we have the next Sabbath. Right here it talks about, well, let's talk about this first. Right here it talks about the sins of the people, and how's it go? Bear the sins and will die childless. They will bear their sins and die childless. And right here we have the harvest. when I get the rest of the plain text translated and looked at it real thorough, I'll give you the rest of it. But so far, oh, let me show you this. ISON is here as well. The comet name ISON. Here it is. Aleph Nun Yud Bet Nun. And just to show you that, I want to go over to Google and show you ISON, I-S-O-N, and over here we have Aleph Nun Bet, Aleph Nun Yod Bet Nun. Aleph Nun Yod Bet Nun. ISON. Also, which is really interesting, I have this on a row skip of 2. You see how there's 2 rows in between? Which, so at this width, it's 1/222. But if you take it down to the original width, folks, times this by 3, you get 3,666. If I find anything else in this table, I'll make another video and revise it. Be looking for the next 2. They all 3 confirm one another. This is definitely the comet I've been looking for. It is definitely connected to wormwood. I'm not saying that it is wormwood, but they are connected. You know, this comet is apparently pulling a lot of garbage and trash behind it. So, you know, what happens when it gets here? Well, you'll see in the other tables. It's not going to be good. It's definitely a harbinger, like it says up here. And then
Now, that meteor was only about 55 feet long. Experts say the chances of a major catastrophe from the meteor are slim, but of course they're very real now. They say there's roughly 10,000 small meteors floating around within range of Earth. All of those capable of destroying a major U.S. city. John and Diana.
Whoa, scary stuff. All right, Devin Dwyer in Washington for us this morning.
To you is, if it's coming in 3 weeks, pray.